Welcome to another episode of Best of Five, where Die by Sword is starting. Hello, Die by Sword, with the 10 gift subs. The patron saint of Best of Five. Hello, he timed that perfectly. How about that instead? I appreciate it, Die by Sword. We were having wonderful discussions.
We all do. We all do. Seriously, thank you.
Yeah, we were all just talking about how, workers at a really large brand are paid a fair and equal wage by their CEO. Oh.
Hold on. So Die by Sword just gifted 10 subs. And I see we got one to Evans Dada, Grinning Oni, Kyo M7, Q-Ball EDH, Fat Cat, Zero Star X, Animate Sam, DJ Cream 13, and who?
Sharpie?
You were not subscribed to your own friend's channel that you are also in?
I'm not compensated at all for being on this podcast. I don't know how you... I have gifted, Steve, time out. How much money did I spend on this podcast
That's right.
when I wasn't even asked to be on here as a guest until something horrible happened last year, and then I was asked for the very first time to be featured on the show. But how much money did I spend before that point? Because I specifically remember $279 coming out of my account, specifically for Twitch subscriptions to this channel.
You're right.
This is some high-quality H2O. I just want to point that out. That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say.
Elon, you waited until we went live to call me out. I don't know why you did that.
I didn't wait until we went live. Die by Sword did it. It's Die by Sword's fault. But anyway.
You gonna die on that sword there, Elon?
Sure am. Anyway, welcome to Best of Five, the FGC podcast that never ends, or starts, or has a middle. We just are beings of the world. Thank you, Ace King Offsuit Jurek, for resubscribing for 42 months in a row. Thank you, Steve.
What? Oh, really, Steve? This is what we're doing right now?
Die by Sword gifting a sub to Donka. All right, good. Die by Sword. Sorry, Steve. Drink that water. All right. Anyway.
There you go, Alon.
Steve, by the way, before we start the show, did you ever get your pizza from the bets a while ago?
I got it off screen. I was gonna have it in front of you guys. So
we're cool. We're clear.
We're cool. Everything is settled. I do want to wish, before we get started on the show it's proper, it is a holiday today.
Oh.
So, it's July 20th, 7/20. So, Sharpie, especially you, but Alon as well, happy Grappler Day.
Don't clap for that, Elon.
It's
Don't clap for
Grappler
that,
Day.
Steve.
It is Grappler Day. Applause is a Grappler Day tradition that goes back to the origins of Grappler Day, the year 720.
I would have given it a standing ovation if I didn't get beat by a Potemkin over the weekend. So
It's what you deserve.
Yeah,
as such, we did ask people for a question of the day. Who is your favorite grappler of all time? And why? And I forgot to throw this link in the doc, so it's okay. I'll just read off a couple.
Okay, you read a couple and I'll catch up.
Agoners is going with Rook from Fantasy Strike because it's the only one they could properly play. Cigarette Eater goes plus R's Potemkin. He just feels right in their hands. Hall of Famer Efren going with T-Hawk because he is clearly Native American despite hailing from Mexico. Good Normals thinks Android 16 is pretty cool, even though they don't typically play grapplers. And TVFGC says the grappler that was a concept in someone's mind but was never created. That's their favorite. So I ask you folks. Who is your favorite grappler of all time?
The only good grappler is a dead grappler. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, so what's the Frankenstein from VSAV? Was he a grappler? He wasn't a grappler, was he?
Thanks for watching the show, everybody. We'll see you next week. I'm the Purple Sharpie.
Victor, thank you. I'm sorry, brain. All right, anyway, so everybody, welcome back to Best of 5. I'm back. Sorry for being away. I was moving and then life got in the way, as it ought to do. However, we have returned. My name is Elon, and I am joined, as always, by the wonderful people who hold it down when the clown goes out of town. We have Steve, the main squeeze apes king, off Suturik, weighing in at 1 billion golds.
1 billion golds?
Yep. I was going to say something about pounds, but I didn't want to be offensive.
Thank you for catching yourself there. I appreciate that.
Yep. And as always, the talented, the Purple Sharpie, who can do any podcast and do anything with her eyes closed.
It's so ridiculous because honestly, I interrupted my sleeping schedule for this, and I in no way, shape, or form feel like I was paid enough for it.
None of us are.
You're getting paid.
You get it because I took off my sleeping
on Grappler Day. On Grappler Day.
This is literally harassment. I have told you all that I do not appreciate grapplers coming in and talking that good old propaganda to me. And now I am literally being harassed by a certain day being called Grappler Day, exclusively when I stated that I don't believe that grappler players should or ever have even deserved rights. Like, this is actually high key, just so rude.
So
I
was about to make a comparison that probably shouldn't. But go ahead. Go ahead, Elon.
I think starting next week, I'm going to go learn how to fight Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm going to go be a grappler.
A real-life grappler.
A real-life grappler.
Good on you. Good on you. Today's
the day I made the decision. I'm kidding. All jokes aside, we like having fun here. All jokes aside, Steve, feel like it's been a busy weekend, huh? I feel like we need to get to that recap.
It has been a busy weekend. It's been a very rich weekend. Because obviously, if you're a Street Fighter fan, you've probably been following the Intel World Open, which has quite a bit of money at stake, 250,000 dollarinos over the course of 11 regional final tournaments taking place over the past few days. But that's not the only big money event that happened. We had Smash Summit 11 this past weekend. If you are a fan of Melee, you had yourself a hell of a show to watch. Mango and Zane in the grand finals. I have yet to check it out, but many people who I have heard from have said that's one of the best sets of all time, that grand final set between the two. Rematch from last year's finale. Mango takes it this year over Zane to take home $46,000.
Wow.
Not a bad weekend of work for him. Zane, a little over $23,000 for his second place finish. Hungry Box and Plup rounding out the top four. They get $18,000 and $15,000 each.
That's crazy. Also, I appreciate the bottom right of that graphic there, where even everybody who rounded out the top 16 got some nosh to take home. So good stuff.
Everyone who got invited got a little bit of moolah.
Hell yeah.
They got airfare. They got their airfare covered.
For sure. Steve, what's next?
Yes. Let's take a look at the Intel World Open. Let's go to South America. Let's go in the order that these took place, because these started on Friday and Saturday with the Americas. So South America, it was for the most part Brazil versus Argentina, just like it was in Copa America. And once again, it was Argentina holding Brazil scoreless in the final. Frozen a 3-0 sweep over Didi Mokov to take top honors in the South America region. Self Cool and Shaka 22 rounding out the top four. 3 out of the top 4 are coming from Argentina. Very, very strong performance from them.
Yeah. Didi Mokov is the Dawson player, right?
Yeah,
we blew everybody away a couple years ago.
Yeah. we've seen a few Dulcims have some success this weekend. There was a Dulcim in the one of the European sets came down to Dulcim versus Fong. Not the grand final, the losers final.
Now that is a hell of a matchup that we don't see very often.
I think I've seen that matchup exactly 0 times.
No, you did. Now you've seen it once.
Next up was North America East. This one, Punk was a little bit upset after the conclusion of this one. He reported that there was a connection problem during his winter final set with IDOM that cost him the set. Ended up losing to Shine in the losers final, but it was IDOM, the Capcom Cup champion, taking it home for the east side of North America. Shine and Punk rounding out the podium. Arturo, 4th place.
Yeah.
Dulcim again.
Man, also good shit to Shine, man. I feel like I haven't seen... Maybe I've been a little bit out of touch, but I feel like I haven't seen Shine's name in a hot minute, so I'm happy to see him up there.
Shine had himself a run. He made it all the way through losers bracket. There were a few players in this format, and we'll talk about this afterwards, where they lost their first match on day 1, and it was split, so all of winners bracket was day 1, all of losers bracket was day 2. Shine ran through the entire losers bracket to make it all the way to the grand final, and there were quite a few players who made that sort of run.
Good to Shine, man.
Yeah. Kicking it over to Mexico and Central America, it is Kusanagi who got the win over Mena RD in the grand final. Mono from Puerto Rico rounding out the podium. Solving 2 from Mexico had himself a nice little run, making it all the way to 4th place. And then rounding out the Americas on the west side, Chris CCH coming from the losers bracket to reset the grand final with Nephew, get the win, knocking off Nephew, taking home that $7,500 first place prize. JB and Corey Bell rounding out the top 4. Then
Crazy.
Then to Sunday, Monday. Kicking things off with the Miawa bracket. This was Middle East, Africa, West Asia.
Wow.
And it came down to a battle of the birds. Big Bird holding off Angry Bird in the grand final to get the win. Idris 22 and Dark Sword rounding out the top 4. Morocco.
Yeah, is that Morocco showing up?
Yeah. Algeria and Morocco represented in the top 8 along with UAE. We know UAE's got a pretty good scene, but this was kind of like one of the highlights of these regional finals. You get players who don't necessarily get that opportunity to compete on those bigger scales. They get a chance to shine. So Algeria, Morocco, you'll see some other regions as well in Europe East, which was the next one. Jamie TTM, she took it all the way. She ran through the winners bracket and then got it done in the grand final to take first place there for Russia. Mamaus from Lithuania, your runner-up. Papoy and Zenam rounding out the top 4, but you also had Bulgaria represented with Kalmal, and then 3 Polish players rounding out that top 8.
Yeah, big ups to these guys, man, because I hate to be a downer, but Morocco to United Arab Emirates must not have been easy. And then Lithuania to Russia must not have been easy either. So big ups to them. And from what I hear, it was actually like super duper entertaining too. So big ups to them for not only toughing it out, but making it look good.
And, I mentioned Punk had a few issues with running a tournament over long distances. Menardi, after his grand final, said he's not going to enter any more tournaments where, Dominican Republic versus Mexico is not a stone's throw.
Yep.
And even, we were watching in spectator mode. There were some times throughout that run where, you could see that the connection was struggling a little bit. So it's unfortunate that these weren't taking place offline, but it is what it is. One more tournament that has wrapped up, and that's the European West region, and that was won by Phenom, who held it down. Takamura, oh my goodness, almost got it done. He's been like in that. Him and Vegapatch have been in that so close. Like Vegapatch especially, it feels like he doesn't quite get it, but he's almost always there. He's almost always in the mix. But yeah, Takamura Vegapatch, that was the Dalsum versus Fong matchup.
Crazy.
And it was ridiculous.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
We do have 4 more that will wind up within the next 16 hours, I want to say. So Tuesday, Wednesday, day 1 already took place. We have the brackets for these regions, starting with Oceania. BK Sama did take the winner's side. He is waiting for whoever comes out of that loser's bracket. You see Somniac and Travis Styles, 2 of the more popular names in the Australia tournament scene, both falling relatively early. So they're going to have to make some runs. And they're both on the same side of the bracket. Or no, excuse me. They're on opposite sides of the bracket. But still, only one of them is going to get a shot at BK Sama if they even get that far. Kicking it over to East Asia. This is the area that includes China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. And Ding Chunq, the player who ran through the Chinese CPT event, ran through the Chinese Open closed regional final. He waits in the grand final. Xiao Hai and RB. That is going to be a tasty matchup in loser side top 8. Winner of that one gets Oil King. That is going to be a hellacious run if any one of those 3 come through. Because they still got to get the other side of the bracket, and then Hot Dog 29, and then DCQ, who has been on absolute fire as of late. Next is Southeast Asia, and this one a little bit of an upset. The winners final came down to Brandon and Sien, and it was actually Brandon who took it. So he is the one who waits in grand finals. Sien waits in the losers final to see who will join him in that finale. And then we close out with the Japan and South Korea bracket. This is the one that has a slightly bigger prize pool. And it's NL who waits in the grand final. A 3-0 over Tokido in the winner's final. So you have NL waiting. You've got Tokido waiting in losers finals. You've got hellacious run anywhere you go. Because it's going to be on one side of the bracket, Mad Hawk, Pugera, and Bonchan. The other side, you've got Fudo, Sako, and that is a typo. Sako is not waiting to fight Sako.
There's your one.
That's my one. That is... I apologize for that. That should actually be Fudo and Gachikun in the loser side top 8, with Sako waiting the winner. So, my apologies there.
How dare you make all these graphics amazingly and then make one tiny error, Steve?
God,
How dare
Steve,
you?
have you no shame?
I have no shame.
How dare you do this for nothing?
By the way, I apologize.
Monetarily-wise. Sorry.
I apologize if I sound weird. I am fighting through a bit of illness right now. If I mute my mic and duck away off screen, I am definitely not blowing my nose. I just want you to know that right now.
Same. All right.
I'm perfectly healthy. I'm just very, very tired.
Yeah, it's okay. Look, we're all fighting different battles, right? Speaking of battles, by the way, we were just talking about Intel World Open. Do we want to talk about their format? Like, what's the situation here?
So as I mentioned, they've got a weird format where each of these regional finals are split over 2 days. So they pair off everybody in the 8 finalists, and then they run all of winter side, and then they stop. They don't run any losers brackets on day 1. Day 2 is all of losers bracket, and then grand final. So it on the one side, it does have the advantage of nobody has to play right after losing. So if you lose, you've got a whole day to kind of recollect yourself, prepare for your next match. But on the minus side, you do have the question of momentum, where, especially if you're in losers final or grand final, you're playing against someone who has been, on a roll. They've just been winning and winning and winning. Excuse me. And in fact, 4 of the 7 tournaments which have completed have included a person who lost the first round on day 1 and then just ran through all of day 2. None of them have won the tournament as of yet. But still, 4 out of 7 people, 4 out of those 7 tournaments, it's not the person coming from losers finals. It's the person who's coming from that first round losers matchup and making the run. What do you guys think of that?
That's a long ass day.
I feel like I like it more because it's more forgiving to players. It sounds really like hellish on an organizer standpoint and really like kind of trash on a production standpoint, but I feel like that's kinder to players in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, man, I can't help but think of the people who wind up having to play so many matches, like in just that final day, and then like getting like each match getting more and more like intense. Like, that's impressive. So I can appreciate the shit out of that. Sorry, Steve.
You're just not respecting.
It's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute. I'm sorry.
I forgive you this once, but you're on like the 4th time.
Twice.
I'm watching.
Thank you. Let's not exaggerate here.
Now, I know you did too. Whatever.
But yeah, it's super interesting. And you know what? Is this something that we can see other people implementing? Is this a format that we can see other tournaments implementing in the future?
See, this only really works if you have sort of a big break between when you start the tournament and when you finish. Mm-hmm. When we're talking about offline tournaments, obviously top 8 is one show. So that's not necessarily going to be feasible. For these online tournaments, it's just weird that you have, it just feels weird in general because, you've got 6 days of Street Fighter, but it's not like, okay, there's 2 tournaments here, 2. It's, okay, there's 4 half tournaments and then 4 half tournaments and then 3 half tournaments and 3 half tournaments. It all just feels a little weird and it takes a bit of getting used to, but I feel like it's a valid format. I don't know if it's necessarily for every event, but I don't think it doesn't work here.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Now, Steve, there was something else about these Intel World Tour Open matches, games, tournaments, wasn't there?
Everyone was wearing some drip.
Yeah?
Some nice, everyone kept it nice and clean. We worried about, costumes. We worried about, is Laura going to show off too much? We don't got to worry about that. They took care of everything because everyone is playing in tracksuits. Every single character for this entire tournament this weekend. Do you have the clip playing?
No. There we go.
There we go. Everyone's wearing tracksuits. It was like these red, white, and blue Olympic-style tracksuits for everybody. And it looked a little weird, I'll be honest. I get it. I really do. It doesn't really bother me that much. I just felt it was kind of strange.
Yeah, it's well. I think this boils down to. I don't know if you guys remember a couple Evos back when ESPN decided to take over, or when we were broadcasting to ESPN, and they told players to change costumes. Like, I think it was Fudo had to change an Armika costume because it was too revealing for the television. So, I mean, I think this is a really good solution to that problem. Am I wrong? Could they have done anything else?
It just seems like, okay, we like Street Fighter enough to partner up with it, but we don't like the most visually apparent part of Street Fighter. Because,
well,
the costumes...
To be fair, like, I do want to add that, like, a lot of costumes inside of fighting games are very revealing. Like, they wear a lot of outfits that, to be very honest, most people probably would not go outside in, like, polite company to. Like, you wouldn't wear that to, like, a lot of social functions, if you wanted to, like, not be taken seriously, but just it wouldn't be appropriate in a lot of social functions. So, like, it makes sense to me as a femme. Maybe we don't show this, especially when we're trying to get, like, a younger crowd inside of here. But, like, also, 100% you have to pick and choose. You can't be like, we're just going to make this game be super revealing with, like, swimsuit DLC, but also we want to make sure that that's not presented as a part of a game. Like, you need to decide what type of game you want to be, high-key. You can't have the boast that you can't, like, cater to that super degenerate aspect and super hard sexuality and make money off of that and then be like, well, we want our game also to be shown to all these other people, but we want to hide that fact. It doesn't really track. Something's kind of off there for me.
I don't disagree.
At least Skullgirls is upfront about it, to be very honest with you. Like, a lot of people... No, I'm serious, because a lot of people say that, especially about Skullgirls. People are like, this game is very... It's a certain type of... It looks a certain way. It does this and does that. But, like, the reality is there's so many other games that have these mods that make, like, women naked or make women, like, shows their panties, and it has, like, exposed nipples, and it, like, has swimsuits. But it's like, at least Skullgirls is very upfront about what they're presenting to you. Other games will make you buy that in DLC and then be like, oh, well, we can't showcase this in a tournament. This is too refined to be shown inside of our tournament. We can't have that. Like just be real.
Yeah.
And,
so
and even Skullgirls has had, they've gone back and edited some of the animations.
Gratuitous ones. That's why I'm like, I get it. Because I feel like, especially, like, Render went back, and he was like, all the developers came together, and they were like, we understand some of this was just straight up gratuitous. There is no reason to have, like, her underwear be showing in this long frames, especially when the frames weren't even that active, and it was just because we wanted to show it off there. Like, that's what I appreciate, that type of transparency. But to pretend, like, the developers of Street Fighter specifically had that same conversation with characters like Armika, with characters like with
Poison?
with characters, I'm sorry.
I said Poison.
Yeah, Poison's a fantastic example. To be very honest with you. But also, like, it feels like there's a lot of change and perception that people like to have inside of larger games to fit a certain narrative. That's really strange for me, coming from a game that's considered smaller, where we're just, like, upfront. We're upfront with what it is. Yeah, you can see her. Yeah, you can see her underwear. That's what it is. Of course you can see her underwear. She flipped upside down and she's wearing a skirt. Duh. But it's like, come on now. This is just extra as heck.
So essentially, this all boils down to core values. Don't fake them.
The only thing that kind of, I don't know if miffs me is the right way to say it, because that feels too strong. But, when you're talking about those other characters, you're talking about DLC, optional things. Poison's default costume is how she's presented to most of the, that's how she's presented to the audience of Street Fighter. Cammy's default costume. Gil's default costume. All of those are the default. If you're saying that the default isn't what we want to present, then maybe there's a question of, well, is the whole game what we want to present? If you're coming at it from the perspective of the IOC or any other major partner. And that's all I'm saying. You know, we're not talking about the cheerleader costumes or anything like that. I feel like that sort of stuff is a little different conversation.
Word. I mean, at the end of the day, too, it's like when, like, I specifically keep thinking back to the ESPN thing with Fudo's Mika. And I feel like it's one of those things where everybody who had to sign off on it had to sign off on it. But one person in the company who's higher up who didn't get hands on it at the time saw it on TV and was upset. Right. So it's just one of those things where it's trying to please everybody. And that never works. So don't do that.
Excuse me.
Do we want to talk any more about Intel World Open? How are we feeling? Any other thoughts?
I feel like 30 minutes on the topic is enough, but we may be missing something.
Okay, hint taken.
I think
there's a big event that I wanted to hear the results from, okay, Elon? I've been sitting here waiting to just go through the tournament results.
All right, you're talking about the Skullgirls, the Evo warm-up, correct?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Steve. That's exactly it, yeah.
But you were there. Why do you want to go over the results if you already saw it? I'm kidding. All right. Yeah.
I'm about to make Sharpie mad. Because
did you not cover it?
No, I haven't been including any of the warm-up results from any of the games. I'm sorry.
No,
don't. No.
It's fine. I get it.
Oh,
I was really excited for this week. It's totally fine. I understand. I comment just for everybody listening. I commentated Evo for the first time. It was a big deal. I was really excited about the tournament results because I felt like, you know, Skullgirls had finally like been included in a really big event that, you know, we weren't necessarily included in previously. So I was really excited. But I totally get it. It's a side tournament. It's not a big deal.
But like Alon's gone as well.
Oh no, he's just not moving. He's still there. He's just not moving. Yeah, that screen is still moving. He's just off camera right now.
I will say I'll go over through. I don't have a graphic for it, but I will go through. PME knocked off Wing Zero in the grand final of the North America warm up. Mr. Peck from the UK held off Magic for the Europe title. Latin America, it's Suki. Excuse me. The Middle East winner is Yewell. I apologize for mispronouncing that.
No, that's correct, I believe.
Lone Vendred won the Asia title, and Pen 3313 is your Japanese champion.
Congrats, Pen. He's been practicing specifically with Sonic Fox. It's a big deal.
Ooh, fancy. That sounded really condescending. I didn't mean that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to like usurp attention. I didn't know you hadn't been covering them, Steve. I was just really excited.
Oh, look. Do you what was your experience like commentating Evo for the first time? I'm curious.
Well, it was my first time commentating. It was in an online format. I did it with Kai Kennedy, the voice of Beowulf. It was really exciting. I'll be honest, like it wasn't like the vision that I had for commentating Evo for the first time, you know, since it was like just a side tournament and it was online, but it was really, really exciting. It was cool. We had a rehearsal and then afterwards we had I commentated both top 8 for Europe and for North America, which was really, really awesome. There was an amazing amount of players signed up for both of the tournaments that I happened to commentate, and I was really happy to see my friends, people that I've known in the community for a really long time that have been practicing for moments like this, entering and showcasing very, very powerful skills. PME and Mr. Peck are both, as well as Pen Pen, are all three people who have been inside the community for a very long time and have been actively practicing on PlayStation to get better at this game. And they were some of the very first people to enter the tournament as well. So it was really, really exciting to watch them prosper. And I'm super excited for the main tournament next month, which hopefully there will be inside of the recap.
Oh yeah,
right,
definitely.
Steve? Like that's the big one, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm doing the big one. It's just,
no, I understand.
It's a warm up.
I get it.
It's a warm up.
Yeah, no, I know. It's not real Evo. I understand. It's dumb. Be excited over that.
All in all, State of Skullgirls for Evo, thumbs up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll do better about covering more Skullgirls next time.
No. Be fair. Like, I don't want Skullgirls to get special treatment because the reality is there are other games that are also being covered, like Grand Blue, Soul Calibur, and even bigger and better is Under Night, which, Climax is coming up. So this is a really big chance for Under Night to showcase their big players before Climax. Like, it's a big deal. So, like, obviously, I was just saying that there are a lot of communities that are looking forward to it and in training inside of this free entry tournament. And there are also a lot of people inside of these brackets who have never entered a fighting game before who did place this time around. I was excited to see those people get recognized on our show, is all.
Well, we'll make it happen for everybody.
But I don't want people to be mad at Steve. He has a very hard job. He has a very hard job, and he works very hard for our show, literally for free, so...
All right, you know what? Since we're on this, I'm kind of upset that Steve didn't cover the Gundam 2v2, all right?
Yeah, Kizzy commentated that, Steve. I actually did watch that.
I didn't watch it. I was just kind of piling on.
Oh.
Sorry.
Did you not? It actually looks like a really fun game, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I've been wanting to check it out because when I lived in Philadelphia and I used to go to the temple sessions, there was always a bunch of people playing it. And I used to watch from afar and be like, dang, it looks like they're having a lot of fun, but I never got into it. So
Shinobi, the head tournament organizer for Climax, actually participated in the tournament this year.
Did he win?
No.
TOs never win. Never win.
Except for
that's why we're TOs.
Except for Mono. Mono won once. I remember. He won a...
And then never again.
Who's the person who runs... Frosty Faustings? Is that Elvin Shadow? Elvin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like Elvin Shadow runs Frosty so that he has people to play against.
I remember him coming for the Red Bull regional in Minneapolis and taking our cookies and that was fun to watch. That was totally fun to watch.
I've also never heard somebody say taking our cookies, and I'm going to use that for the rest of my life.
I really wanted some cookies that day. Anyway, can we talk about a couple of tournament announcements?
Yep, Steve, what do we have? Keep it going. What's next?
So over this past week, we found out that there are a couple of tournaments coming back. One of which is Genesis 8, the Smash and Platform Fighter Tournament Series is coming back for 2022. They announced that they will run January 28th through 30th in San Jose at the McHenry Convention Center for tournament action on Friday and Saturday, and then finals will be held on at the San Jose Civic Center. Registration for that is open. If you go to smash.gg/G8, you can register if you are so inclined.
That's crazy. The San Jose Civic Center, that's pretty cool. That's pretty huge.
Yeah, if you've ever seen Genesis, they do finals big. So, I feel like stage finals, Genesis obviously being one of the bigger Smash events of the year, and if you get a chance to check it out, it will probably be a pretty damn good set. So definitely check that out.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yes.
I was gonna ask, what other tournaments are there?
Kumite in Tennessee is coming back this year, and it's going to run on Halloween weekend. So October 29th through 31st. If you want to dress up for Grand Final Sunday in your favorite Grappler costume to celebrate a belated Grappler Day, that will be the time to do that. But we actually have the game list.
Yep. What games are they going to play, Steve?
They're running 12 games.
Wow.
BB Tag, DOA 6, DBFZ, Stripe, Sam Show, Soul Calibur 6, Street Fighter, Smash Ultimate, Tekken 7, and then a 3-hit combo of NetherRealm games. Injustice 2, MKX, and MK11.
Dang, that's a lot of MK and Injustice.
That's a lot. Yeah, Kumite tends to do, that tends to be a pretty big deal in the NRS community.
You know what I'm kind of surprised?
All three.
Sorry for cutting you off, Steve.
That's okay.
Where's the Melty Blood? Right, isn't that coming out in September? Is that too late to set up a tournament for in October? That's a genuine question, not like a leading question.
That is a good question. I just don't think they have space to run it. That releases on September 30th.
Yeah, that seems like it's a little soon to.
Of course, you would.
Yeah,
you would love to run, if you can, but I know that space is at a premium at a lot of events, so you got to just.
And I know we talk about it all the time when we see tournament announcements. It's like this stuff was in the books a while ago, and with the way Melty basically announced that they were coming out in September, last month, or maybe the month before that. So it might have just been too late for them to do anything about it, which is happening to a lot of other tournaments too, which is frustrating. However, who knows what the future holds?
Also, part of this is you got to believe that this is almost a continuation, aside from Strive, a continuation of the event that should have taken place in 2020.
That's right.
So,
yeah, but hey, KIT always puts on a hell of a show, though. So.
Oh yeah, and Blue in the chat is saying that Shinobi, who runs Climax, he's saying that they'll do some sort of exhibition there. So there should be some Melty representation either way.
Yeah.
So it looks like a lot of people are very possibly going to be prioritizing Climax over KIT, specifically in the Undernight and French bread community.
I mean, if you're going to, if you're a French breadhead, you probably want to prioritize Climax over pretty much any other tournament. Because they are going to do right by you down there.
Is Climax is in that second week of October?
Climax is November.
Oh, November. Sorry. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, that is November 20th and 21st.
Okay. Oh, wow. So, yeah, so they're like late November. Okay. Cool. Just wanted to map that out in my head. Steve. Steve and Sharpie, since we're talking about Melty, there's been some news about Melty. Have you heard the news about Melty?
I'm hearing that there's news about Melty.
I've heard the news, but I have not seen the news.
Okay, me neither. So, should we see the news?
Together?
Let's see the news. Yes.
Welcome to the news.
Two newses.
Oh, it's Kouma.
Wait a second.
What?
Wait.
Happy Grappler Day!
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Y'all are trash. Y'all are trash for this one.
So that is one of two little peeks we've seen at Melty characters. Because here comes the other news.
Is it also a grappler? We'll see.
Better not be. He has a knife. He can't be a grappler.
So it seems like we're going to get, these were just a few days apart. So it seems like we're going to be getting these little character trailers. Now, these are not announcements because they'd already been shown, but we'll be getting these not infrequently, it seems.
That's nice.
So yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. It is. Yeah, it is nice to see a character trailer where you actually get to see what the character can do, and you get to see some of the game systems. Obviously, this is a little closer to release than something like KOF 15.
Damn, you just really subtweeting them, huh?
That, you know what? We talked about this earlier. You know, it would be nice, when we had DJ Cream here. We talked about how we haven't really seen any of the systems work for KOF, whereas by contrast, Melty, they've put out like little videos, little snippets going in depth on a lot of the systems, a lot of the mechanics. I
feel like it's just a different, like, you have to remember that, like, French Bread is still really indie, like they are a very small team without a huge publisher, so they're able to do a lot more. And I feel like the reason why we're seeing differences in the way they're handling things as opposed to KOF is because SNK has a whole board of investors that they have to answer to when they don't get a certain level of excitement. Whereas French Bread just has to answer to the community. And then they just have to show the community, hey, by the way, this is what our game looks like. Y'all are going to buy it, right? And the community will be like, yes, we're going to buy it regardless. We don't care. And if they get more stuff, they know that it's guaranteed. It's a lot different than having to answer to a publisher and be like, well, the publisher doesn't want this type of press out before we 100% any of this because we don't know if this is going to change before launch, So it makes sense to me, specifically as someone who's like worked very closely with indie developers, but it's like there's so much red tape when you start getting into these really big production companies that like you just wouldn't think there would be red tape for.
Yeah, and the other thing too, like, sorry, but playing off of that is like, much like what you were saying, Sharpie. It's like I feel like some of these smaller companies also know how to speak our language a lot better than the bigger companies. So that's why we see a trailer like this, and we're like, sorry, I almost lost my camera.
Yeah.
We see a trailer like this, and we have DJ Cream in our chat saying whoever made this trailer knows how to play Melty. Where
it's one of those things where it's like I just wish. I understand why bigger publishers don't allow developers to say any and everything, especially as someone who came from a game where a developer was allowed to say any and everything. Like, it makes sense to me, but it's also like they're also really hurting their community outreach because then, from a consumer point of side, the exact same thing with Steve happens where it's like you watch other games and other communities where the developers are actually in touch with the community and actively know what that community wants, and they don't have anything stopping them from saying anything. It's a significantly different advertising and marketing technique that I feel has a better payoff. The worst aspect of it is that it does put a developer team at a higher risk if the community doesn't like something. And there's no disconnection. There's no community manager if something goes wrong. That just all 100% goes back on that same developer team. So it's a big gamble, but when you know what works, it works.
And the other thing is too, like with KOF, it's not coming out till 2022. So some of that stuff might not be sorted out yet. Some of that might be, still up in the air. With Melty, it's coming out in 8 weeks.
Yeah.
8-9 weeks. That's got to be drilled down now. So you can't really not show it at this point. Whereas for KOF, you still have the option of holding off on that stuff for a while. They're not at that point quite yet.
Anything else we want to say about Melty before we move on to the next topic?
Play Melty Blood.
Type of Lumina coming out. Can I be really, really honest? I feel like there's a lot of people putting too many stakes in Melty, where they're thinking, since Strive obviously is very different from Xrd, and a lot of people take issue with that. I feel like a lot of people who are disappointed with how Strive came out are putting all of their eggs in the Melty basket.
I feel like regardless of how people are choosing to give Melty a chance, I'm just happy that Melty Blood is getting a chance, to be very honest with you. As someone who's inside of like a smaller anime community, Melty Blood is a very good game. It's very well made. It's always been a very well made type of game. All of the games that the French Bread team has made have all really been love letters to every single fighting game in existence, specifically like the 90s era of arcade fighting games. And I'm really happy that the development team of French Bread is still able to actively survive and continue making, obviously, a genre that doesn't typically get a lot of attention. I think as long as at least one brand new person plays Melty and loves it, I feel like that's a success, to be very honest with you. I don't care if they happen to join the game just because they were like, yeah, Strive was a big deal and maybe now Melty will be that. I don't really care. I'm just happy to see that. Because for me, one win for a small anime, independently made fighting game is a win for all really small, independently made anime fighting games, to be very honest. Like, I'm happy to see their success, and I'm very happy for the Melty Blood community. It's been a long time that they've deserved a new game. I'm really happy for them.
Agreed. Melty in 2021. Who saw that coming? Nobody.
And with with the delay of KOF, and with Project L not coming out for quite some time, they've sort of got the new release spotlight to themselves. The timing has worked out pretty well for them, so they're they're not facing nearly as much competition as some of the previous releases have. So, maybe it's not so much people hitching their wagons to it as much as it is people getting a chance to really look at it and invest in it, and not having to worry about, there's this other game that I'm interested in on the horizon as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a spotlight that, to be very honest with you, a lot of these same games weren't necessarily given just because we kept getting release of Street Fighters and Tekkens and Mortal Kombats. And it's like, publishers can afford to do that, What's his name? One of the NetherRealms developers was even like, yo, what do you want to see a reboot of? Remember? And like, everybody was like naming off Mortal Kombat games they'd be very happy to see. These smaller games that you don't get to see that type of questioning because it probably won't happen. We just have to be happy with what we have. And it's nice to come out of a pandemic where so much of the anime fighting game community was really honestly suffering. And to be very honest, like, this entire year has been a really big win for us. This entire year.
Yeah. And speaking of big years for anime and for the fighting game community in general, this was also a big year for Best of 5 as well, because we came to the realization that a lot of these developers hate us.
What?
And they hate us because they keep putting announcement trailers after our show. And we keep saying, Wednesday, not Wednesday, please do it Tuesday. And you know who really kicked the bucket this week?
They did it Tuesday.
It's ArcSys. They decided to release a trailer Tuesday. Hooray! We get to talk about it's 30 minutes after we're done. What in the world is going on?
Thank you for considering future Steve's, thoughts there, Elon.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm getting heated too, so this is difficult.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
So you get to watch new Strive trailers 30 minutes after our show. We're not going to talk about it till next week because they're jerks, but enjoy the Strive stuff later today.
I will be running through the streets in my underwear if it's Elfeld. I just want to see the world burn. That's all I want.
You smell that?
I can't smell anything, but I think
like...
I know what you're getting at. Wow!
I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry about it. Anybody who wants elephant bat can literally hold this. All y'all. Nah.
Sharpie, do you need a hug? on
No,
Grappler Day?
I need Elephant to not be in this freaking game, to be very honest with you. It's a good game. Why would you even suggest adding her? To be very... Look, in chat, I'm a Lost Soul fan. She's cool. Can we... Am I a mod? Can I shoot them? What is going on?
No!
Following us
No,
since 2008.
no.
Can we permaban?
No. You
Maybe later.
No. Let's take a breath. Let's deeply inhale.
You just be coming in here saying whatever, Steve. Not even considering feelings of people that play the game. Like it's rude. It's rude. I don't want to see her in this game again. I will be very upset. Sorry.
All right.
Let Ram live. Like she's only been top tier for like a month. Can we let Ram live high key?
Is she considered top tier?
What?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, she's definitely considered like top 4 or top 5. No contest, to be very honest.
Let's calm down.
I'm calm.
Let's breathe. Let's do some aromatherapy.
Yeah, because it smells like blazing.
It does.
Please add
know
the
what that
womp womp
is?
sound effect right there. Like just
You know
do
what
it.
that is, though? That's not the blazing.
Oh no,
That's
is that
the smell of the game.
That's the smell of the game. Why don't you all let's get some Guilty Gear perfume and really smell like blazing?
Society.
Oh, okay.
That's so crazy. Even with this, people still literally will not shower.
Oh no, this doesn't.
This is gonna make it worse.
Because people will just slap on cologne and think that's okay. But we are all right. Let's back it up a bit. This is from a company called Fairy Tale Perfume in Japan. They worked with. They released a perfume for Hatsune Miku, and now they have partnered with Arc System Works to release a pair of Guilty Gear Strive Eau de Parfums. You've got Soul. His scent is based on rugged masculinity. It is a smoky scent with hints of lemon, cinnamon bark, vanilla, cocoa, patchouli, musk, and sandalwood.
That sounds
Kai,
gross.
Sandalwood is how you know it's very masculine.
like my fiance is all about sandalwood. Right?
Yeah.
I was told I had a deodorant preference, and then she found some sandalwood stuff and was like, nope, this is yours now.
Yep.
But Kai, if you want to go a different direction, Kai goes for a lighter floral scent. It includes hints of lemon, bergamot, black tea, jasmine, rose, vanilla, and musk. These scents, like I said, they are available through Fairy Tale Perfume if you live in Japan. They do not ship internationally. But if you are Japanese or live in Japan or have access to a Japanese mailing box, each set can be yours for 3,300 yen, about $33.
Sounds gross.
That's a lot of money. You could literally take a shower for less money than that. Literally, soap and water costs $10. That's so OD.
Why is one of the scents called musk?
Oh, that's an actual smell.
Is it ambergris? The whale vomit?
No.
No. Do you hold on? Now,
musk
Elon,
is an actual scent, though.
You say this is terrible. I ask you to pull up this link that I just threw in chat.
All right, hold on.
And
Here we
can
go.
Compare and contrast. This should have been the question of the day.
Always terrifying. It's always terrifying when Steve's like, "Yeah, just go ahead and take a look at the chat." I'm like, "Oh no!" Every single time, I'm like, "Oh no!" Here we go.
It's coming.
Bad things happen. Because we remember this one, don't we, Alon?
I remember, and it was still bad then. I don't know why you're. Anyway, this is what Steve's talking about when we had the Street Fighter perfume. Let's take a look at.
Scroll down to that picture. Scroll down.
There's
to
a
that
video.
picture.
There's a video.
I don't know if we can we play that video. I don't think
There's
we
no
can.
sound.
I'm gonna turn the audio off on it.
Okay.
It's really
good
bad.
thing I turned the audio off because it's redlining. Oh my god! Please can I delete this? Yeah, I'm deleting this. Goodbye.
The Chun-Ling one is so much worse. Oh my god.
The Chun-Li picture, though, she just looks so happy to be in that fight.
They always do that with women. They always like hella sell the perfume like it's just making the woman the happiest she could possibly be because she smells nice now. Like
pull
high
that back
key,
up, please.
It's gone.
A lot.
I deleted
Please pull it back. I just want
Don't.
to show that picture. I just want you to zoom in on that picture.
don't ever show that picture ever again in polite company, please.
Hold on.
Oh, we are not polite
man.
company. We are not polite
I
company.
mean, just the fact that you linked the Kotaku article already makes me slightly sick.
Why?
That's
Because
okay.
they don't like mobile games?
Yeah.
God. Okay. All right, zoom in on that picture. Please open that picture in a new tab.
I open the picture in a new tab when I can just do this.
Okay. Chun-Li's happy, but look at Ryu. Look at that smugness.
Look how they
Look at
edited
that
his model
smugness.
there. Jeez.
Like.
Wait, when was this released?
2019.
Oh, so Fortnite wasn't the first time we saw Ryu smile.
Stop it.
Oh, that's a conspiracy theory. We need to check that out. Anyway, I'm gonna delete this off of my. I don't want to see this ever again.
Oh my goodness! All right. I've subjected you to enough.
All right.
Thank you for indulging me.
You're welcome. So anyway, like Steve said, if you live in Japan and you want to smell like blazing, please purchase the stinky deodorant, or not deodorant. What's it called? Cologne.
It's cologne and
perfume.
perfume. The specific word, the technical word for it is fragrance. If you want to be unisex about it, it's a fragrance.
Yeah. So, Steve, you added something to the doc, like literally 30 seconds ago, because I believe this is this breaking news at all or no?
It's not quite breaking news, but it did drop after I had finished up my note taking. Panda Global just announced a couple of pickups. They added Jiyuna to their roster, as well as Saint Cola. Saint Cola, if you've been watching any of the Intel World Open, he has been holding it down on commentary. Jiyuna obviously does a lot of things in Japan with the Tokyo Gaming Sphere, Anime Illuminati. He runs that account. So congratulations to both of those guys. Hope to see a lot of great things from them in the future.
Man, big ups to Panda Global for picking up content creators as well as players, man. Feels happy, man.
And honestly, Cola has been on the grind in the last year and a half. Like, I think out of everyone in the community, in terms of content game, in terms of getting on the commentary grind, I don't think I would put anyone ahead of Cola in terms of what they've done to raise their stock. He has worked his off. So good to see that getting recognized and rewarded. So
Yep.
All right, next thing, Steve. I hear. So first of all, I was out last week, but we had the big announcement, that shook the world, and it's that Nintendo, or not Nintendo. Jeez, I'm already screwing up the names. Nickelodeon is stepping into the Nintendo world. They're gonna go toe to toe with Smash, and they made their own Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl. And I gotta be honest, man. If Doug dim a domain in the game, I'm not gonna buy it. However, there was a bit of an announcement as far as pricing goes. Right, Steve?
Not an official announcement, but it was revealed once the game went live that you could pre-order the game through sites like Target, GameStop, Walmart. The launch price for Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Switch have all been confirmed to be $49.99.
All right. Not 60,
So,
not 70. Oh, hey.
It's not 60, it's not 70, but it's not 30 or 40.
Right.
So this is real new game. Like, if you're picking this up, you probably picking this up.
Man, the fact that they have Invader Zim in there is so sick, though. Like, I'm a fan. But, you know, I just think they need... What's that? That series, Action Force Heroes? Or Action Team? With Meltman?
Action League Now?
Action League Now, thank you. Meltman with the power to...
With the power to...
Melt! We need that in the game. Where's the dancing lobsters, you know?
Sharpie don't know about that Action League Now.
Greatest
She does not want to
TV
know
show.
about that Action League Now.
Can we get the kid from that? What was that game on Nickelodeon? The game show where you had someone come in and they had like something special. What was it called?
America's Funniest Home Videos?
No. It
No,
was on
no,
Nickelodeon.
no.
And they would bring
I
a
know
kid
what
out.
you're doing.
Yeah, they would bring a kid out, and there would be like something unusual about that kid, and they would figure it out. Thank you, DJ Creep. Figure it out. Yeah, can we get the kid from Figure It Out that had like the world's longest rat tail in the game?
All I could remember is Lori Beth Denberg was like she was a permanent panelist on that show.
Dude,
also, let's get Lori Beth Denberg in this game, please.
Dude, honestly, if the aggro crag is not a stage, that's the biggest waste of anything. It's the biggest waste of anything. All right? No aggro crag, no buy.
Sharpie is having none of this. Exactly zero.
It's y'all. We covered it last week, and I feel
I know,
like.
but I wasn't here. I'm sorry.
Is that how that works now?
Yes.
If Elon's not here, we recover it.
Yes. I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents.
I totally understand. I totally get it. I also wanted to shout out, just as an aside, I wasn't here when we were covering a very specific topic of how terrible grapplers are. You know, I feel like it's important that we dedicate like the last 12 minutes to discussing that.
Okay. We do have... Well, okay. Before we do that, I will give you the 12 minutes, I promise.
Please don't.
I'll give you 10 minutes. I'll give you 10 minutes. I'm even gonna put up a timer. You asked for it, you're getting it. But I do want to bring up one thing. First, Valve's Steam Deck. Is that the future of tournaments?
No. I feel like
if we want to have a real conversation about this, we can, because a very important tournament organizer actually commented on it, and I feel like that does warrant a conversation.
We're going to have to save it for next week, because we have
Good idea.
your 10-minute discussion. And the other thing is, according to the doc, Steve, I think you might have some more information about it than I do. There's rumors of a new Persona 4 Arena.
not quite new, but a new coat of polish. So this comes from Zippo, a person who has leaked a lot of things for Nintendo. Accuracy has been pretty good, not perfect, but pretty good. And one of the things they've leaked is that there is a remaster of Persona 4 Ultimax in the works. Now, this is obviously unconfirmed. This is just a rumor. But we are coming up on the 25th anniversary of the Persona series, and we are going to get 7 Persona-related announcements throughout that year to celebrate the anniversary. The first of those will be in September. That part has been confirmed. Obviously, whether it's P4U is not confirmed, but, we've seen, obviously, the Virtua Fighter remaster. So it's not exactly out of left field here. Do you think that it's going to happen?
Why not? You know? Why not? Sega, I'm sure Sega's happy with how Virtua Fighter went out. Mm-hmm. It received a lot of really good press. People are still playing it. So, why not? Now, we do have exactly 10 minutes left. Sharpie, I'm going to start your timer, and you're on.
For real? I actually get to do this?
Go for it.
Okay. Here we go. Now, really quickly, before you actually start that timer, because it's not moving, I want you to take a look at the chat real quick.
Oh, no,
Elon.
now you're making me do work.
No. You have to do work for my segment. It's very important. This is an impromptu segment, and like y'all are getting a full Sharpie segment. This is a very important segment, everyone. Now look, I know I commandeered these last 10 minutes to talk about how much I hate grapplers, but there's a more important cause I don't want to talk about. Y'all, there's a brand new independent fighting game that is currently on Kickstarter right now. It has been funded by people like Wooly. It has been funded by people like Tom Cannon, one of the creators of GGPO, as well as the brand new, yet-to-be-released Project L game. And this game is something that a lot of people have been watching for a really long time. Let's go ahead and run that trailer. Okay, so y'all saw how crazy this game is, right? You guys are probably getting Samurai Champloo. Oh my god, I lost 4 minutes from that trailer. You know what? It was worth it. I don't care. Y'all are probably getting Samurai Champloo vibes. You all are probably getting like really, really crazy Skullgirls vibes. You guys are probably getting like, you know, a little bit of KI influence there. And that's because this game is fantastic. It is literally being created by two people, I believe, two brothers that really have a huge desire for fighting games, that have been working on this game in their spare time. And the most important thing here is it was given the Tom Cannon seal of approval. All right? He believes in this team. This is a big deal once again. All right? One of the people who basically made Rising Thunder is looking at this and he's like, yo, a 2-person indie team made this. The game looks sick. I believe in it, all right? And this is pure speculation. It's pure speculation for me right here. I'll be very honest. There is a $10,000 tier currently on Kickstarter that one person is backed right now. That is the Phantom. Reward, and what it does, it allows you to loom over every aspect of the project. You'll have direct communication with the team. You can offer ideas, get feedback, and even sit in on some of the meetings. You'll be an integral component to the development of the team, and your generosity gives you a place of the credits, a Discord role, all the rewards of the previous tier, yada, 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 right? Someone really believes in this game. Someone, Tom Cannon, and a plethora of other people genuinely believe in this game. I am hopefully requesting and patiently and very, very adamantly asking all of our viewers and listeners to go over to the Kickstarter, give what you can, all right? This game looks amazing, and I'm going to be very honest. They've already reached their goal. They've reached the $20,000 goal that they set, but they still have a bunch of stretch goals here. One is tag team mode. One was adding anime-like scenes and story mode. One was an extra character and stage at launch for another $10,000. They're trying to get all the way up to $150,000 before August 15th. That is not a lot of time. I am personally going to be streaming, and I'm going to be trying to kickstart to actually get up to the $10,000 reward, because I personally am very invested in this game, and I'm gonna be very honest with y'all, I don't have $10,000 to do it. Ultimately, I want to get up to the $2,000 reward because I would really like to make a character of my own and put her and voice her inside of this game, but that's $2,000 that I'm gonna be very honest, I don't have. Ideally, I get to the $10,000 tier and I'm able to donate all of that directly into their game. But yeah, if you would like to support them directly, go over to the Kickstarter, drop them some money. Otherwise, you can come to my stream where I'm gonna be basically saving up some of my money over the next couple of weeks and trying to put it inside of here so I can actually get a character in this game. But yeah, definitely give them some love, y'all. Like they were working for a very long time on this game. I've seen quite a few works in progress of it, and it's really, really awesome. It's really, really cool. There's a lot that they have going on here, and it's a really awesome project, I think. It's a really big deal. I think this is like, a lot of people have been saying, what's going to be the next Skullgirls? You know, Skullgirls was such a big deal, so on and so forth. This right here. This, I'm calling it literally right now, this is going to be the very next Skullgirls. And with my final minute, I'd like to say why the character that I create will not be a grappler. Okay? Look, grapplers are disgusting. Grapplers are stupid. Grapplers literally pick their nose, okay? Like, they don't have brain power to function. Why would I ever create a character that is a grappler? You know, I would never in my life. Never in my life. So if I do create a character, I can promise you it will not have any grabs whatsoever. There won't even be emphasis. Whenever the character gets grabbed, as a matter of fact, I will make sure that there's a voice line that makes the opponent feel bad for grabbing you. That's my commitment. All right?
Wow.
Oh, sorry.
God, Elon, come on. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I really appreciate it. I still got 15 seconds on the mic, so I just want to say that every single person who mains a grappler literally was a mistake. That's all I like to say. That's not a scrub quote. It's just the truth. It's the literal truth, okay? Thank you.
And with that said, happy Grappler Day! Yay!
Thank you,
Every real
everybody, for
podcast
watching.
has a sign-off phrase.
Good night,
Thank you, everybody,
Canada.
for watching the show. Good night. Social medias, etc. So long.
30
Everybody
minutes
wave goodbye.
for the Strive character.
Yeah, Strive. Hold on, I can't find the button to end this show.
We're never ending. We
freaking
live
out.
here now.
I'm freaking out. All right, we're out of here. Thanks, everybody. Have a good. Bye.